Hello and welcome everybody. Today you'll be learning how to make a custom ROM for your very own device. Now a custom ROM that we're going to make is consisting of two main parts. The base, which we'll use from another a base ROM, and the base ROM I'll be using for this tutorial will be CyanogenMod 7. And this is for my device, so each device varies. Now CyanogenMod is a community, or let's say a group, that make ROMs for these devices, and all these names here are just code names for a device. So mine is Cooper there, and I downloaded my ROM, which is, yeah, so I used this one for the base, and the finished product became this one. I named it Cyan Lightspeed, and yeah, and that is in here. Just close that for a sec. That is the base. Now you might have CM9, CM10, 11. 7 is old. What 7 is? It's gingerbread. 7 is the 7th letter in the alphabet, which is G, and that's gingerbread. Now for this tutorial, you don't want to touch boot or metainf. The only folders we're going to touch are pretty much app for this one, and other ones as we go along. And now for the mods, just to make it simple, look, we're gonna use Holo Launcher. Everyone can use this one, and Performance X. Everyone can use this as well. These two are compatible with all devices, then hence this is just an app, and that is a mod. And yeah, and what you also want is an uncompression tool like 7-zip. I recommend just get 7-zip. Don't know how to get it. Hit Google, write 7-zip, and just download it. It's free, it's small, and it gets the job done. Now I will be uploading this designer because you need this. Okay, this is compulsory for this tutorial, and the mods are here. So the APK files that have an APK, it's pretty much Android package. You don't want to touch them, you don't want to extract it or blah blah blah. Performance X, I'll send you the link to the form. It's not here now. You want to extract that. Now this is actually a flashable zip, but we don't want the parts that are for the flashable. All we want, this is a adrenaline engine. What we want is system and data. Now before we go into all that, okay, you want to download the base of your ROM. So that's step 1. Download the base, extract it, and now you're gonna work in this folder. You can rename it to whatever you want. I'm gonna call it workstation. You don't need to worry about it. Now there's all these folders. You don't want to mess around with all of these. If you know what you're gonna do with them, go ahead. But these could potentially break your device. So we're gonna hang around this area, and yeah, okay, once I got that, now we're gonna open it. I'm just gonna open another window. I'm sorry. Alright, we're gonna go to our mods, Holo Launcher. I know it's the plus version. I'm just doing it for tutorial sakes. I know It's a cracked one, but this is only for the tutorial. It's not for commercial use. Now these are all the applications that are going to get installed during boot. So you can put any launcher you want. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of ADW, the stock launcher, because it's an old version. You can't update it and all that. Now what I like to do is don't remove Latin IME. Okay, I know it's a big file, but don't remove it. That is the keyboard and languages for the keyboard. These are themes. Leave them. You could mess up the theme database on your device, and there's some things you can remove, like FM. If FM doesn't really work on this ROM, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of calendar and the provider, download provider. Get rid of them, and that's about it. That's what I'm gonna get rid of. The calendar provider runs in the background, and it causes some memory issues. You know, my device doesn't have much RAM. Okay, only about 270 megabytes. Anyways, back to the topic. What I did was just I copied the Holo launcher from the folder that I downloaded in, dragged it, and pasted it in the folder in the ROM that you just extracted it. So that, okay, I extracted that. This is where you're gonna work in. I opened system, app, and these are all the apps. And what I did was I copied Holo launcher into here. Now, you're not done there, okay? Now, what you can do now is get pure performances. As I said, this all we have to do is it's simple because we can just get system, okay, and all we can do is copy these two folders. But I don't want to touch data actually, because we can leave that. This is just Adrenaline engine. You don't really need it. It's a passive mod, so it only works when you give the command to do it. So we're gonna touch the system area. Now if you're in the system, Xbin, you got all these stuff. Don't touch them, please. This will go into there. I'm gonna do it like this, so we can move these into there. You want to replace it. It's gonna overwrite it anyways. For user. See this IDC. Now you want to copy that folder in here. That's done. Etc. You gotta go to the etc folder. And yes, and you gotta go init D. Now these are scripts, okay? These are like the boot scripts. They run when you restart your every single time you restart your device. So you can mount the SD card and all this stuff. You wanna copy all this, okay? These are the actual mods that do all the changing. And crossbreeder. Now you can leave that. You don't need to touch that. There should be a file called hosts. You want to leave that alone, okay? Next is in bin. So you head over to bin and copy these in here. If it asks you to replace it, replace it. Okay, that's done. Okay, you are nearly finished. Alright, now this is basic ROM, so you made very minor changes. That's about it. Now what you want to do is you don't want to zip this folder, okay? It won't work because your phone will think that it's trying to read that folder. What you want to do is you want to get all this with 7-zip. You just right click and drag, and you want to add to workstations.zip or whatever it says. Okay, so add it to that. That's just showing that folder, which is over here. Now it must be a zip, can't be anything else. RAR. Your phone can only read zips, as in the recovery. If you open it, you should come out with this. If you open it and it comes out of workstation again or whatever you named it, you did it wrong. Okay. Now this part is important. I'm gonna cut this folder. I'm gonna move it into zip signer. Don't worry about this folder. Don't worry about that. Okay, you wanna name this called update, okay? You don't wanna name it something else. It must be updates. No matter what. You can change it after you've done the zip bit, the signing bit, but before you sign it, it must be update. Everything's like that. Now you can also change, I forgot to mention, you can also change the oh, don't worry about it. Okay, you want to double click on zip signer. Oh yeah, if you're on 64-bit, you're gonna have a little bit of issues. One sec, guys. Okay, once it's done, you want to double click on that, and it should be writing one. It should say please report if there's any errors, and should be 0 kilobytes at the start. And when it's done, you know it's done when it says this, and you hit any key, and you should have a folder called update-finished. Now you can see it's a little bigger, about 1000 kilobytes bigger, nearly, and that is a zip you can flash. You can't flash this one, it won't work, it'll come out with an error depending on what recovery you are using. And you want to flash this one, and you know you can rename it whatever you want. So I'm just going to call it test YouTube ROM. Now drag down to your device, boot up into recovery. Now one thing is recovery, you want to have a custom recovery. If you don't know what it is, you can go on YouTube, or best place to go is forum.xt developers. Okay, this is the website. If you want to contact me on XTA or Google Plus, my name is the unknown thing in XTA. I hope you actually enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned something. Remember, this is for CyanogenMod 7. We just made this a basic ROM, and if you followed all these steps correctly and that message popped up and you pretty much flashed it and reboot, now you've got an actual ROM. You made your own ROM, and if you want to make a different ROM, you know, these are all the code names. You know your code names, see, S3, S3 US, these all vary, okay. See, Nexus 5, Hammerhead, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching.